we talked about hallway behavior, just walking to specials or walking to lunch or things like that. We did not talk about hallway behavior when you're switching classes. Mrs. Freeburn and I, we see 4 different classes. So it's like every hour we have somebody switching in the hallway. And they, those 2 teachers will do it twice. When you're switching, sometimes I might get done with science and the hour's up, and Mrs. Freeburn's trying to get in that last little thing that she's got to get in your head, and she wants you to learn it. She has to have you learn it. So she's not quite ready yet. So I'm done with science. We're all cleaned up. We're ready to go. We line up out in the hallway. You can absolutely, Mrs. Stovall will still have class going on because their classes are longer than ours. Mrs. Steele next door has classes going on. Mrs. Mincy's has class going on. You cannot go out in that hallway and talk. You cannot do it. You line up with your shoulder to the wall and you wait patiently. Most of the time it's about 30 seconds. Mrs. Freeburn and I are pretty much in sync, and it's about 30 seconds that you would have to wait, if at all. Sometimes it's reverse. I've got a lab going on and we're cleaning up, and I'm going, oh, sorry, Miss Freeburn, we're cleaning as fast as I can. I'm cleaning up as fast as I can. And her kids may be waiting on us for about 30 seconds. So you just need to be patient, and we will show you where and how to line up in the hallway while you're waiting to switch classes.
What might happen if I am being loud and disruptive in the hallway? You're probably going to get a ticket mark.
An X. Sometimes, this doesn't happen often, but none of us really do this very often, but sometimes, if it's just crazy loud, we might take a ticket from everyone. And do we know that sometimes that there's that one person that really probably doesn't talk? We get that. And we try really, 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 really hard not to do that very often. But once in a while, you know what, we just can't tell. We just can't tell. It's just the whole class is just too noisy. So we may do that. But that's not a thing that happens often. But once in a while, it just, you can't tell, so you have to do that.
So while we're talking about switching, we're starting to get some of our things ready for our classes, but we've asked you to bring folders. Mrs. McMahill loves this color, so whenever you go to her class, you'll always take this color folder with you.
In fact, you're not going to be allowed to come into my door unless you have your green folder. You can't do the things that I need you to do for the day without this folder. I will be checking your hands. No green folder? Welcome. No green folder? No.
I like this color. So along with binders like this, you'll have a binder for math, and you'll also have a red folder that will go inside your binder, and this is what you will bring to math. For ELA,
Binder.
you'll have another binder. Now we'll put on them whether they are math or ELA, so you'll be able to tell which one that you need to pick up. And then,
Dividers.
yes,
The tabs.
dividers are inside your notebook. And then do you ladies use these folders?
Yes.
I did not use a folder for that. I told my students in my class, and who will
Okay.
also be in Mrs. Freebert's, that you can just use those for extra take-home folders, or in case one of your other folders ripped.
We also need them for art.
And we
Art.
used one for art, yes, and my class.
We have art today, right?
Yes.
So my students are supposed to remember you take one folder to art, but you do not take your green one.
So when you put things in your cubbies, you've got folders and you've got binders that pages go in. So if we would go into the room and look in your cubby, should we just see papers in it?
Empty papers, just no.
Should we
book
see
in it,
that?
Without a hole.
No, we should see everything put away into something, shouldn't we? Now here's the other kind of cool part, I think it's really cool. When you go to your classes, these are all the things that you have to take. Do you have to, if this is you're going to do a kind of a project where they're going to have to cut glue. Do we have to take glue and scissors to your room?
No. You guys saw my room yesterday. Did they have to take my homeroom class? Does anyone have to bring scissors or glue to my room?
No.
I have so much scissors and glue, I'm good.
Do you have to take scissors or glue anywhere? No. You will never ever have to carry supplies like that to our rooms. We
Pencils.
have those
No,
for
what
you.
about a pencil? Pencil,
No.
I need a pencil.
You got it.
But I've got a special pencil from
Nope.
home that I got at Disney World.
Oh, well, that's fine. Take it home and use it at home.
I can't bring it to school.
No.
We don't need it. you just drop it and lose it?
Or I dropped it and lost it.
Another thing we don't like here are mechanical pencils. And here's the main reason we do not like mechanical pencils. Is because students spend more time looking at their mechanical pencil and putting lead or taking it out or putting it in or taking it out, taking it apart, than they do listening to instruction. So we do not use mechanical pencils here. We will provide every supply like that that you need. Notebook paper, we've got it. Construction paper, we've got it. We will give you what you need. Also, with all the supplies you brought, we won't be asking your parents to get more pencils or more construction paper. We won't be asking them for those new things because we'll have plenty, because we will use it sparingly, we will use it correctly.
And guys, I know the pencil thing. We don't take pencils from class to class, and we don't leave anything in our desks. Nothing in our desks. The only thing that will be in my classroom, in those desks, is a social studies book to share with Mrs. Freebert's class.
Another thing about talking about that is the way you treat those supplies. Pencils, and I've taught for many years and I do not understand this. We'll give you a pencil, have the nice pencil eraser on it, and whenever you leave, it's like not there. I'm like, did you eat that? I don't know what you do with the erasers, but for some reason they're not there anymore. And we realized if people use them over and over, eventually it's going to wear out. So then we had you buy those little cap erasers. If you go into a classroom and there's a cap eraser on your pencil, you do not take it off.
Leave it. Don't switch it for another color because pink is your favorite and you've got red.
You do not leave it on. And you might say, well, I don't have a cap eraser, so I'm going to take the cap eraser off and I'm going to put it on mine. Well, you might not have a cap eraser because your pencil still has an eraser part on it. So that's why we didn't put one on there. So that does not mean you get to take the cap eraser and put it on your pencil and leave the other one like that. You cannot do that. You guys purchased this stuff. This is your stuff. Don't destroy it. Don't break our pencils. Don't dig holes in the sides of the desk. Don't do that kind of stuff.
Don't chew on them because other
Yeah.
people use them.
Yeah. Don't, we also have erasers that are like this, the pink erasers that look like this. And when people leave, there's a hole drilled in the middle. And how you drill a hole in the middle while you're learning something in class is beyond me.
I'm still trying
But
to
it
figure that one.
But it happens, and you know it happens. Also, we're good. We know people like to throw eraser pieces across the Please have a
All right, so let's talk about this restroom. When we go to the restroom, first of all, about 5 people go in at a time because that's about all that can be in there at a time, isn't there? So if there's more than that, stand at the door and wait to go in. All right? We take lots of restroom breaks during the day. So we're going to do a little math problem here. You can go to the restroom when you first get here in the morning. Go to your classroom, say, hey, Mrs. Stowell, can I use the restroom real quick? She'll say, yeah, sure, go. So there's one time. Are you counting now? I need you to count for me. Are you counting too? Okay, so now school hasn't even started yet. You've already had one opportunity to go to the restroom, right? Okay, we're going to leave for woof time. Remember how we talked about woof time? When you come back from woof time, that's when your first class is going to start. Before class starts, there's a time where you can go to the bathroom, right? There's 2. And you haven't missed any class yet, have you? Okay, so you go to your first class. That class is over. You're going to go to another class, aren't you? Maybe some of you might come to math. Some of you might go somewhere else. There's another time where we're switching for another class. That's 3, isn't it? Right? We haven't even got to lunch yet. And there's 3 times that you've had an opportunity to use the restroom. Now we're to lunch. Could you go to the restroom on your way to lunch?
Yes.
There's 4. Could you go to the restroom when we come back in from lunch?
Yes.
There's 5. Now we have another class to go to, don't we? Because we've only been in one class so far. Okay. 1.5. Okay. So we're switching to our next class. There's another time. What are we at? 6? We haven't gone to specials yet, have we? Okay, we're getting ready to go to specials. There's a time where we're switching. Now we're up to 7. Oh my gosh. I only go to the bathroom like once or twice a day, but we're at 7, right? Okay. Okay, I know. So we come back from specials and you have your last class after specials, don't you? There's another time where we've did 8 times. And you have not had to leave a class to go to the restroom yet, have you? Okay. 8 times. I go to the bathroom about twice a day, maybe.
And it's a science thing. We're all human. We all have the
You
same
have to go to the
functions.
bathroom every now and then.
It's like
That's life.
2.
But there's 8 different times that you have an opportunity, hey fellas, to go to the restroom and you haven't missed class. So what do you think's going to happen if you come into math class and we start in a math class in about 10 minutes, you come up and say, hey, can I go to the bathroom?
Actually, what we will do is this. We're going to say,
We're going to say,
you
yes.
can, because we don't want anyone, if you have an emergency. But we're
But
going
what else
to
do you
take,
think's
we're
going
going
to
to take a ticket. We're going to take a ticket.
And why would we take a ticket? I want some car. Why do you think we would take a ticket? That is exactly right.
Just had an opportunity. Just had 8 times. And even let's say that you do have that one, it came on. You were not expecting it. You really didn't have to go, and then all of a sudden, 15 minutes into class, it did come on. Once in a while, I get it, that happens. Is one ticket going to ruin your...
Does one ticket make you lose team time? No.
So some people, they say, okay, it is worth it. I really have to go, and I will lose it. We get it. But most people, that doesn't happen very often. Okay, the only other thing is that I was thinking about was, but I think in ELA you'll go over that more, is the reading challenge. We probably talked a bunch about the reading
I
challenge.
can say something real quick, just so you guys know. How many of you remember Miss Clark? I think you saw her in the assembly. Okay, Miss Clark is the media specialist or the librarian, and she does have 2 reading challenges this year. She's going to explain more to you when you go to a library the first time. Basically, the 2 different reading challenges, both of them involve reading, is it 20 books, okay? And let's just say, if you meet the challenge, there's some really cool things at the end of the year that you get to do.
And we participate.
I do, teachers.
She participates, Mrs. Stovall participates, I know Miss Hall does, but she's already got a head start. I got a tiny bit of a
I got
head
a
start.
tiny. I think I'm on book.
Tiny start too.
So we all participate, and if you are saying, gosh, I want to read one of these Mark Twain books, or I want to read, ask any of us. We can recommend what we think that you would like. What's good, because we've read them. Some. I haven't
Because
read them.
last year, all of us did it, didn't we?
Yeah, I finished.
I did.
I almost
You were
finished.
close?
I was close.
It's hard, there's a lot to read, but it can be done.
Right, don't tell them about the surprise at the end of the year.
Oh, I know, it's just too
I know.
amazing. And teachers get to do it and get to go too, that's what I love.
Yeah.
I won't miss it.
I won't either.
I've done it for a long time. We have little reading nooks outside our room. If you hadn't noticed, there are little benches and tables. It's the first year we've ever had anything that cool or that pretty. We have pictures hanging and things like that. We're excited about that. We really, really want those to look nice and stay nice. We want you to be able to use them. Sometimes Mrs. Hall and Mrs. Stovall will have a social studies test. They might want 2 people to go out and quiz each other over the study guide. You'll get to go out and use that bench and that reading nook. Sometimes Mrs. Freebert may need someone to practice their multiplication tables with someone else. She might send you out to the little reading nook outside the door to practice on that. So that's what they're there for. They're there. We bought them for you. We designed those for you. There's a little table out there so you can do some writing on it if you need to. Take care of it. Keep it nice.
We might even, if I have a bigger group than 2 people, maybe I have 3 or 4, we might even borrow Mrs. McMahon's bench and scoot over by ours and all meet together, and then when we're done, move it back. We might even do things like that. But we have to take care of them.
Morning breakfast. How many of you eat breakfast in the morning? Okay, here's what we want from you. We need you to get off the bus, get yourself to breakfast. We need you to eat. We do not need you to talk and play. We're doing things in the classroom. You may be up there eating breakfast, but we got things going on in the classroom. We're getting ready for our day. They're getting their while you were gone papers. They're getting stuff written in their planner. They're getting themselves organized for the day. So if you walk in as announcements are coming on, you're a mess. You're not ready. You don't have time. Some people are asking me a question, hey, Mrs. Mayhill, I got stuck on that one math problem. Can you help me? Absolutely. If you're sitting there playing around at breakfast, you don't have the opportunity to get yourself prepared for the day. We want you to get yourself breakfast and get down. If we find people that are constantly, we need you here before the announcements come on. If we find people are constantly late, we are going to ask you to just bring your breakfast to the classroom and eat it in there because we need you in there. Stuff is going on. So,
and when wolf time starts, I mean, you go.
Yeah.
As soon as the announcements are done,
You leave.
they play the music for wolf time. So it's quick.
There is no time.
There is no time. You've got to get to class quickly in the morning.
And we want you to eat breakfast. If you haven't had breakfast, we want you to eat. Here's how you do it. You get off the bus, you eat. You do not come down to the classroom first. If you do have to use the restroom and you're not a breakfast eater, you come down, go put your backpack and stuff up, tell us. Say, I need to use the restroom. That's different. The nurse. We do have a health room here. Guys, you're in 5th grade. Seriously, if you get a little paper cut, is it the end of the world? No, you're going to be fine. Trust me. We are not going to let you go to the nurse. We all have Band-Aids. Every single one of us have Band-Aids. We will give you a Band-Aid. We have a water fountain in our room. If you have a, we have a sink in our room. We will let you wash it off. You will live. You will be fine. I have headaches. We all have headaches. We get that. Did you know? Science again. One way to cure a headache, the fastest way to cure a headache is rehydrate. Many times people get headaches because they don't have enough liquid. Go to the drinking fountain, get yourself a really, really big drink of water. Rehydrate. Your cells need more hydration, and it'll make your headache go away. It's a good trick to try. That's the first thing that you should try. So most of the time, you will be fine. You'll be fine. So be here and don't be a health room buddy. If you want to get friends, be friends with Mrs. Bird, she'll come down and be your friend. You don't need to go see her all the time. Yes, sir.
What if you get really bloody all over?
Yeah, we'll take care of that. We'll take care of it. You plan on that happening? Okay. Well, that happens.
And guys, along those lines, if you get a bloody nose, how many of you have had a bloody nose? Okay, we've all gotten them. The best thing to do quickly is to get a Kleenex or get a paper towel and immediately put it to your nose. Don't have anybody help you. You yourself need to get the Kleenex or the paper towel, put it to your nose, and typically we can see, oh, you've got a bloody nose, we know you need to go, okay?
Also, we cannot, it's not our rule, it's a school rule, we cannot let you go to the health room, we can't let you go anywhere without carrying around this hall pass. And it says the date, the time that you're leaving, where you're going, and then teacher's initials. We are not going to fill out the date for you. We are not going to fill out the time for you. We are not going to fill out where you're going. We have to put our initials in it though. This is what will get you out of our classroom at a time you're not supposed to be. So if it's that headache and you said, I just can't really take it anymore, my mom has Tylenol, permission, it's in the health room, could I go get some? Then you can fill out your planner. You will fill out your planner, you bring it to us, we sign it, you will go. They will not let you in the health room without it. Now, if you have a bloody nose or you're throwing up in the trash can, I'm sure they'll let you in without it. But if it's just for a headache or something like that, we need you to fill that out. Also, if you want, I don't know that there'll be any extra time at the library, they have to fill out the planner to go to the library.
Yes, as we get more into the school year, things will go by quicker. Like before school, or at the end of the day maybe, in that last 15 minutes where we're packing up. Ms. Clark allows you to come into the library once you know her expectations to check out a book. And if you need to do that, you have to have that planner. She will not let you in the library without your planner. And the teacher's initial.
Okay, I think this is the last thing, the very last thing. Perfumes and lotions. We cannot have people sometimes like to bring all their lip gloss and their makeup and their perfume and their purses and all. And boys, the aftershave lotion, we can't have all that. First of all, there's 27 people in a classroom. If you spray something, some kind of perfume, there's many people that are allergic to that, including teachers. That can cause headache.
Yeah.
So you have to be very, very careful about that. You cannot bring that stuff to school.
And the little tiny bottles, those are cool. Those are so cool that have the little clips, you know, that you can like clip on your belt or something. Those are so cool. But don't wear them during school.
Keep them clipped on your backpack.
Leave it in your backpack, use it when you get home. You can't have stuff like that out during the day.
And girls, your purses and things like that, we don't travel with those class to class.
Yep.
We will put those in your cubby or with your coat on the hooks. So another thing, this is not going to make any sense right now, but later as we go on, we do not travel with our coats. We keep this building at a good temperature, and your winter coat does not go from class to class because you're cold. If you're cold, Mrs. Freebird and we all will wear a little sweater like this that keeps us warm, but then she'll wear a coat in the winter time also. So if you feel like that the building to you is a little bit chilly, then wear a little sweater, wear a little a hoodie or something. But if your hoodie is going to be your winter coat, we will not allow you to wear that hoodie all day long. It's a science thing, doesn't do you any good. Keep it on all day long and then go out in the cold, it doesn't keep you warm. So we require winter coats, your coats that you're gonna wear outside for recess, that you hang up. If you feel like that you're a little chilly, wear a little sweater or a little light jacket or something. Yes, sir.
Our sixth grade is going to be doing the wolf time thing.
Yes. Whole school. That's it for all of our rules and things like that.